Hi, I'm going to show you some of the ways you can link bones to other bones and do the setups. Okay, here's a simple setup. What's going on here is that I've got a bone on layer 3 over here, okay, and as I turn it, hey, there's nothing on layer 4. This blue ball is on layer here on layer 3 down several layers. Okay, and what's going on here is that I can even turn off the bone strength on this layer, because what's going on is that this bone here, bone N, is a slave to bone 1. And the way it's done is I've got an action B1, and in the action I'm turning the bone B1, and on this layer I'm turning the bone N. It's right here. So this bone here is being a slave to the bone on the top layer. Very simple concept. Let me get rid of some of these keys because since I moved everything. Well, let's see what happens. See, now there's nothing on layer 4. This is on layer 3, and it's down in on a chain further down. So you can put stuff down further. You can add another layer. Let's see what happens if I add a group here. Okay, oops, I don't want to do that. I'm down the timeline. So let's delete that. Let's go back to 0. Add a group layer. Okay. Now, we turn that layer back on, and you can still see that, well, that bone's a slave. Now, of course, you can only do so much movement because of the movement in the actions, only so much. But that's the basic principle of being able to control bones further down the line. You make a bone on one layer, then deeper down the nest, you can make another bone that's a slave to it. But one caveat is that the bone down the line has to have a different name. It can't be the same name as the one on top. Okay. Now, that's the simple stuff. Now into the fun stuff. Here's a character, simple character that I've rigged. Okay. And I've used several different setups. Okay, there are several different actions here. I got a B1 or B2, B3, B4. So, and layer 2, all the bones on layer 2 in the character are slaves to on the layer 5. So let's do a little manipulation, and as you can see, it kind of works. Okay. Now, layer 1 here and layer 3. This is layer 1 and the body's layer 3. Layer 1 is actually bound to this bone. The reason why is because if I didn't bind it, it wouldn't move. Okay? And that's because I've got layer scripts going on. And let's go down to the blend morph script and take a look at that. Okay, now I got bone strength here I don't need. Okay. But I've got, let's see, I got one that's labeled mouth. Let me select another bone. I'll show the label on that. Eyebrows. And let me select, and eyebrows, semicolon, mouth. And they're slaves to this layer. And the way this is done is I've got the embedded script for Rudiger's morphs, morph dials on this layer. Okay? And the bones are on the switch layer. But I've got this embedded script, oops, which is, come on, which is Vern's control switch layer bone control. So now what happens here is, okay, I can turn the character, I can control the eyebrows, I can control the mouth, or I can do something fun and I can just move this bone around and control that, and still go back here and bend and control everything in this character. So I've got a lot of control over this. Now the caveat to the blend morphs is, unlike controlling stuff through master and slave bones, hey, you can't go nested down. If I were to put a layer in between here and layer 2 and layer 5 and add another one, let's see, let's put a bone layer in there. Now that, oh, I keep doing that. Let's delete this layer and go back to frame 0 and add a bone layer. Okay. Now the master-slave relationship should break. Let's see if it does. No, it doesn't. Okay. So you can, let me add a, go back to frame 0 and add a layer, vector layer up here, and I'm going to make a star here or something. Okay, and so, and add a bone end for that. Oops. Gotta do it on frame 0. And I'm going to move this bone over here. So let's see what happens. And yeah, it works. Hey, but once you start getting into like these nesting, sometimes this control doesn't work. I don't know what to say, but that's the way you can do some very elaborate controls. And if you really want to get fancy, hey, you can also add in layers down on this. And add in layers here and control, have this work still as a switch layer with layers down this direction. So that's a basic idea. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse the hell out of you, but it gets pretty. You can get some pretty complicated rigs with adding the layer scripts along with the blend morphs, plus with the master-slave relationships here with the bones controlling other bones down the layer as a master and slave. That's about it. Thanks for watching.